Okay, check your time. It is now 9:38. It's time for the top of the morning news bites. This is a brief summary of all of the news headlines ato mga tagsa-tagsa ka mga pamantalaan, both local and national. Not just the newspapers, but also news outfits, news organizations, news websites. Compiled to us by our friends from Rebo Edu. Top news headlines for today, Abril 30. According to GMA News, 64% of Pinoys believe Philippine democracy has problems. In a survey, 64. That's a lot of Pinoys, right? And I'm wondering what kind of problems they believe the Philippine democracy has. Marcos announces libreng sakay for MRT 3 and LRT 1 and 2, and over 200 showcase or show cause orders for vote buying ASR issued versus Election 2025 bets. Villanueva urges priority of digital nomad visa bill. The senators call for full accountability amid a filing raps versus Roque and Ong. Isko Moreno still leads the Octa survey for Manila mayor. And the Philippine Navy conducts live firing missile exercises in Zambales. ₱101 million worth of marijuana seized in balikbayan boxes in Manila. And Japan Prime Minister Ishiba arrives at Malacanang to meet the president. Just in case you just tuned in, this is the top of the morning news bites. This is a brief summary of all of the news headlines all over the country. Let's go to ABS-CBN News. Thousands join Labor Day rally banking 200 peso minimum wage hike bill. LTOI's periodic medical exam after driver's license issuance. And Fitch affirms Philippine credit rating but warns politics may affect and infect investments. Sara Duterte alludes to Dicong's arrest, her dad's arrest, in the message to the PNPA graduates. And House Speaker reaffirms commitment to advance Philippine-Japan partnership. Go beyond GDP as measure of growth, middle income, nations say. I think it's also important to measure the well-being of a nation. Kanang gross domestic happiness, right? That's actually a very important measure. NBI probes Makati firm alleged hiring of a Chinese individual to meddle in the elections. Wow. PNP, 35 election-related incidents, 13 dead ahead of the elections, and 74.8 million pesos hinalang shabu masamsam sa buy-bust operation sa Caloocan. Let's go to Inquirer.net. Bulusan volcano could erupt anew in next few days, according to Philbox chief. Solo parents party list pushes bill to ban discrimination exploitation at campaigns. And the DOJ on Duterte turnover to ICC, we did what's best for the country. And Camille Villar vows to strengthen the abaca industry. Ombudsman orders dismissal of Albay governor, and according to the PNP, over 12,800 cops have cast ballots in local absentee voting. And the PNP reiterates zero tolerance policy for earring cops. The police nabbed 3 most wanted suspects in the NCR and Cotabato. And 45 million pesos worth of cigarettes seized. 5 nabbed in 4 police ops, according to the CIDG. Let's go to the Philippine Star. Ato ang top of the morning news bites. Karong adlaw, Abril 30. The Philippine peso closed at 56 pesos and 145 centavos. As of yesterday, Tuesday, April 29. And PAL offers 20% off on economy-based fares on select domestic flights. Taal volcano logs earthquake spike in April, but Philbox says activity is not alarming. Hazy skies in Metro Manila caused by fires, according to the DENR. And the DENR asked to set talks with Masungi Blue Star. Pangulong Marcos kontra sa resulta ng Senate hearing ni Amy. Amy Marcos recommends charges versus DOJ and DILG's Remulias, PNP's Marbil and Torre, other top officials over Duterte's ICC arrest. Supreme Court penalizes school for negligence in the bullying incident, and soldiers seize combat weapons in Maguindanao del Sur operation. Just in case you just tuned in, this is the top of the morning news bites. These are the headlines karong adlaw. Abril 30. Let's go to the Philippine News Agency. The DOF denies imposition of new taxes, warns versus disinformation. And House vows continued funding for Philippine Children's Medical Center. And according to the Department of Agriculture, 4 million Filipinos to benefit from 20 kilograms rice program in pilot areas. This is very good news. And DMV warns OFWs versus rogue balikbayan box forwarders. Natin yung mga rogue balikbayan box forwarders. My goodness. Philbox modernization to boost capacity and reduce hazard impacts. And COMELEC condemns killing of ABP party list nominee. Balikatan troops demonstrate firepower in counter drilling or counter landing drills. And cops who cast their votes in local absentee voting reach almost 13,000. And government agencies, telco, partnered to prevent fiber cable cuts in northern Mindanao. This is the top of the morning news bites. Mo kani atong mga headlines atong tagsa-tagsa ka mga pamantalan sa atong national and local newspapers, news organizations, news websites, and so on and so forth. Let's go to Manila Bulletin. Mga headlines karong buntaga. According to a Solon, let DOH decide on bed capacity increase of public hospitals. And Makati ranks 4th among world's cities with top healthcare. Whoa. And Philippine importers to meet with U.S. agri-companies amid tariff talks. DepEd opens online applications for senior high school voucher program for next school year. And BIR files before the Department of Justice 8.7 billion tax evasion charges versus illicit importers, distributors of vape products. After intercepting two trafficking victims, the Bureau of Immigration vows to run after their recruiters, and over 29,000 AFP personnel to cast vote in local absentee poll. And the DMV shuts down Rizal Church for alleged illegal recruitment activities, religious leader nabbed. And veteran journalist Johnny Dayag shot dead in his house in Aklan. These are the headlines ato mga national news outlets. Let's go to Manila Times. Headlines karong adlaw, Abril 30. Extreme heat fatal to 2 traffic enforcers. And Pag-ibig program offers extra funds through home equity. Residents flee ashfall blanket Sorsogon towns as Bulusan erupts anew. Infrastructure project to boost tourism in Pangasinan. And Marcos high marks validate government efforts. Sara to join PDP meeting the Avance and DSWD DepEd Chief's top satisfaction survey. And Go lauds signing of 2 public healthcare laws. And Ombudsman slaps Garcia with 6-month preventive suspension. Moka na atong mga headlines atong mga national newspapers. Let's go to the local newspaper, Sunstar. Ang headlines karong adlaw, Abril 30, Ombudsman suspends Gwen and Governor vows to fight order. Garcia says her issuance of a special permit was to address the water crisis caused by El Nido. Cebu Governor Gwendolyn Garcia has been placed under a 6-month preventive suspension by the Office of the Ombudsman following her issuance of a special permit for a distilling activity in a protected area when the province was reeling from El Nino phenomenon last year. The governor said on Tuesday, April 29, that she will challenge the order, which she described as illegal, due to a provision from the Omnibus Election Code which prohibits the suspension of elective officials during election period without prior approval from COMELEC. Garcia further said that she was never given due process as she had never been notified of the complaint and was not given the chance to reply before the issuance of the preventive suspension. No COMELEC approval was secured prior to the issuance of this suspension, she said. The election period started last January 12 and will end on June 11. The suspension order was released with barely 2 weeks before the election, said Garcia, who is seeking a 3rd consecutive term in the May 12 polls. The governor was campaigning in northern Cebu on Tuesday. Garcia reaffirmed her commitment to public service and said her legal team is preparing to challenge the order. The anti-graft office, for its part, states that its order is immediately executory and the governor is suspended without pay pending the case's resolution. This is the 2nd preventive suspension imposed on Garcia. In December 2012, the Office of the President suspended her for 6 months over a grave abuse of authority complaint by the late Governor Gregorio Sanchez. Moka natong headlines sa Sunstar Cebu karong adlaw, Abril 30. Atong tanawon bi ang Super B. Tanaw na to atong headlines. Barangay coordinator sa politiko gipatay. Patay ang usa ka barangay coordinator sa usa ka kandidato nga kanhi konsehal sa barangay og naangol ang kauban niini human po sila sa riding in tandem alas 4 sa hapon Lunes, Abril 28. And lawas sa lalaki gigaid sa poste, usa ka 25 anyos nga lalaki nga wala na'y kinabuhi ang napalgan nga gigaid sa poste sa kuryente nga ang lawas adunay mga samad pinusilan. Napalgan ang maong lawas alas 4:50 sa kadlawon. Mo kana ato ang headlines karong adlaw, Abril 30. 2025 ato ang taknakron alas 9:52. Daghang salamat sa inyong pagpaminaw sa Top of the Morning. I'm your host. My name is Jiggy Juice. Maayong bungkag!